Hi everyone. I hope you're having a good week. I was waiting a bit to see if more people would complete the work on the unit before I moved ahead to the next one. I'm not quite sure what the problem is. I don't know, is it that you don't have the books? Is it that you just haven't figured out how you're going to organize your life to include this online course? Please email me, tell me what the problem is. I know 2 people are up to date, and I have heard from a third. But if the rest of you are having concerns, please let me know. This week, their readings are not as intense. There's the 2 chapters from Frank Sen's book, Introduction to the Liturgy, which does a sweep of history. And I also put in the supplementary readings an essay that I wrote a number of years ago. I think it was 1997 I wrote it. Villanova was doing a whole series in their Theology Institute on things at the millennium, scriptural studies at the millennium, ecclesiology at the millennium, and I was invited to do a presentation on liturgical studies at the millennium. So it's sort of a look back and a look ahead at that time. And it was published, but I put the just the PDF of my article on there for you. And then there were other questions through the unit as there were last week. But it is a kind of an overall sweep through history. And it isn't a case that once we do that, it's over and done with. We're actually going to come back to this again and again. So that this kind of just gives you the baseline, if you want to think about it that way, of kind of the history of liturgical worship. And we'll come back to it as we look at different elements of liturgy and different sacraments. So you don't have to be concerned about that. As always, if you have problems, email me, come visit me. Text, phone, whatever it is, I'm there. I want to help you. I want to help you be successful in the course. I wish you could have read each other's from where I sit, because each of you is sitting in a different place, and they're very, very interesting. Because we're different ages, we have different experiences. So Teresa's from Vietnam, and she has her experience there. But Raphael grew up in El Salvador, so until he became an adult, his experience of the liturgy is rooted there. Not everyone is Catholic, so we have that kind of diversity in transcendental meditation and Hinduism, and into Reform. Someone has come from atheism in order to back into the Dutch Reformed Church. So there's really a breadth that's out there. You know that I grew up sort of in the neighborhood. I grew up in Forest Hills, and I'm Roman Catholic, and I went to Catholic schools most of my life. Went to public school for kindergarten. But I've really had the benefit of traveling and living in other parts of the world as well. So I bring that sense of liturgy. I've been to Africa. I've been to the Philippines, but that's the only place you would call Asia that I've been to, Guam and the Philippines. Australia, New Zealand, many of the European countries. I lived for a summer at our mission in Panama, and so I have a sense of how what we experience here isn't the liturgy. It's not the whole story. And all of that will seed conversations in what I write about or what we talk about. I'm there on campus, so if you're there and you want to talk, we can do that too. All right? So stay in touch, keep up to date to the best you can, and I'll be back again soon. Bye.